Good evening. Yes, the f- the screen is not frozen. I'm just not turning on the camera. Um, you were on my other channel earlier. Um, I did the same thing. So, oh, hold on. Sorry, I had the other volume up. Okay, so how are y'all? Sprinkle, sprinkle. So today we're going to be discussing: were you born magical or born a witch? So many people ask me, um, how do I know I'm this or how do I know I'm that? Well, the best thing I can tell you is if ever since you were born or can remember having certain types of powers or energies or being able to do certain things, see certain things, then most likely you were born that way. Um, if not, and you had to learn and, get all the information and knowledge and things like that from different people's books or lessons or whatever, then most likely were interested and learned and all those types of things. A lot of people are born that way, and they don't even know, and so they think that's the norm, or they think being this way or seeing these things are the norm. And so when you're able to know that those are, abilities that a lot of people are not born with, and you don't know how to use them or how to, create the most from them, then you kind of go through life without really knowing. So once you know, or once you figure things out, then you can start to kind of, you know, benefit from a lot of these skills, talents, and energies and knowledge and special gifts that you have, since birth. So therefore, that means you were most likely born that way. So, yeah, I'm just not on camera, y'all. I know I look good in that picture and everything, but you know, it's just a photo. Um, so there are people that are born witches and people that are born magical. There are people that are born a lot of different ways, and they don't know unless someone tells them early on. But usually they will start to, you know, seek knowledge on many types of subjects, and ask questions that most people can't answer that aren't experiencing anything similar. So they'll literally have to go on their own little, spiritual knowledge seeking in order to just learn about why they are the way that they are. So therefore, a lot of people will condemn someone or judge them or say, well, you shouldn't be learning that sort of thing, or you shouldn't be, you know, messing with that sort of stuff. Well, if you can't explain to me certain things, or if you can't explain to someone certain things, then that's what they're going to go and, learn, because you don't have, you know, anything to teach them, or you don't have any knowledge for them to explain why they feel this way, why they are this way, because you just don't realize it. So they have to go and learn other things. Okay. And so, like, a lot of parents will discourage their kids from, learning about certain things because they think it's evil or something like that. Well, if you are one of those parents, or if you have parents like that, I definitely feel like parents should definitely educate themselves on certain things before they tell someone not to learn something, or that something is evil or whatever. They definitely need to learn, because a lot of times not knowing something at all is worse than learning something. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If y'all are going to ask me questions that don't have anything to do with what we're talking about, I'm definitely not going to be answering. So if anyone could answer her question in the comments, I'm sure she would really appreciate that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. All right. Anyway, when you are born with it, you can't help but to learn about it. Exactly. You say your path is your business, not anyone else. And so, when you're young, you want to know more about who you are. And so, therefore, you start seeking answers within. But first, as a child, you ask your parents, and if they don't know, then you have to you have to find that out yourself, because a lot of people will not, go all out to teach you something that they don't know. So therefore, you have to learn yourself. Um, I know a lot of you guys who are, I don't know how old you all are, but a lot of people had to hide what they were learning because maybe they grew up in a household where people did not approve of certain types of, reading or items. Some people don't like, cards. They don't like, crystals or certain books. They don't like, Ouija boards or stuff like that. So they don't want you to learn about those things because they probably fear them. So once people start to learn about themselves and why they were the way they were since childhood, a lot of things start to make more sense. And when things start to make more sense and you start developing your own energy towards, knowledge and things like that, you discover so much more and are able to do so much more than you had ever thought. And, people notice that. People notice, like, well, how did you do this? And how did you do that? It's like, well, instead of following what everyone else did or said or whatever, I created my own way to do certain things. And I used what I knew and what I learned and the knowledge that I was, born gifted in a certain way. And that's how I do what I do, because, you know, everyone is different. You see, what's the difference between magical and a witch? I feel like magical is how you view the world and how you react and how the world reacts to you. And I feel that witch is, just the knowledge that you have and how to use that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And it could be for many reasons of why you need to use that knowledge, but it's definitely knowledge and a way to use it. Okay. You said which is more material or spiritual? And it could be both. Now, when I say both, I mean because knowledge is knowledge material. So definitely can be both depending on who and what you choose to be, because there are some um, physical or material and some spiritual ways to do everything. Okay. Um you said they're not scary as books in society. Witches aren't scary at all. That's why you don't need to listen to other people who aren't, you know, who are judgmental and don't know anything. So, a witch is magical by default. Someone who is magical is not a witch. Okay. Well, a witch is magical by default, and someone who is magical is not a witch. It's different for everyone. Mm-hmm. Mhm. Being called a witch always made you laugh because I think it's a compliment. Well, why wouldn't it be? Hmm. Would you rather be called a nun or a witch? Would you rather be called a nun or a witch? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Are you randomly having doubts about your divinity being real and deeply disturbs you? How do you stop this when it's happening? Claiming divinity saved you? Well, you could be divine and you can be everything else you would like to be as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm always going to be exactly what I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So learning about certain things does not mean that you believe in them. And so this is a good way to, make sure that you're not believing everything that you learn. Practicing something does not mean you believe in it. It just means that you're applying what the knowledge that you've learned, but this still doesn't mean that you believe. So there's a lot of things that people need to know before they start claiming their divinity or calling themselves whatever labels that they choose to call themselves. I feel like a truly magical person does not have to believe in anything if they don't want to, but yet they can still learn whatever they choose and not fall for believing in whatever it is, but simply just learning it. Okay. Just like all those people who learn about different cultures, learn about different, ways of living, they don't literally have to start living that way or believing the superstitions in the culture or whatever. So they don't have to. As long as you know who you are and what you're doing, as far as not believing in whatever it is that you're learning, if you choose not to believe in it. I typically don't see that you're supposed to believe in anything unless you choose to at that moment. And then, like I say, then you don't have to believe in it at all the next moment. So that's why a lot of people, when they start learning certain things, they start to believe it. Like for permanent, use. No, you don't believe anything permanently. Um, you said a witch don't have to do witchcraft. Exactly. It's just automatic. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So when you're automatically that way, not even trying, then that's a born witch. All right. Mm-hmm. So we're on this channel, so let's only talk things on this channel. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate you guys staying on this channel's theme. Appreciate that a lot. Why are witches so attractive? Because they use makeup and they don't care what other people think. Most of them, anyway. I hope most of them don't. And so they do what they want. It's a lot of the attitude that it's attractive, you know. Magical people, they're very imaginative and they can literally create very easily and bring, their thoughts, ideas, and manifest them with ease, you know, where it takes, you know, some people a lot more. I'm not going to say it's impossible because it's not, but it takes a lot more effort and things like that to create what they want. So, yeah, it's just a picture, y'all. Y'all know that. Yeah, I'm just talking on the mic tonight. Just doing the audio tonight, okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said your daughter's learning on about witches? Yep, I learned about witches. I'm still learning about witches. Like, you never stop learning about witches, magical people, or anything. You just, never stop learning about yourself either. So, that's a good thing when you continuous learning. It's always good. Um, it's really good when you can find the older books. If you're going to buy books, I know some of them are expensive. Yet, if you go to some older bookstores, you definitely can find some books that are very rare that cost a lot of money. Like if you tried to find it on Amazon or something, and you can literally buy them for a couple of dollars. You know what I'm saying? If you go to the older bookstores and they have the older occult books with a lot of information that they don't put in the newer ones because, for whatever reason. So you got to find the older ones. I went to New Orleans maybe a couple of years ago and I found this old bookstore and they had so many books. I don't know. But I found this book. It's worth a lot of money and they sold it to me really cheap because I don't know if they knew the worth because they had so many. Or they just didn't know. But a lot of the knowledge in there literally will help you know certain things, learn certain things, see why people do certain things, especially in the cult knowledge. So, if you don't live near an older bookstore, and if you ever go on a vacation or a trip somewhere that's like historical or has those types of stores, make sure you go and go look around and go find something that you might like because a lot of you guys that are just, buying stuff that's, relatively new, you're not getting a lot out of it because the older knowledge is where they used to tell everything. Okay. Because most people back then didn't really read those types of books. They were told not to read, or they didn't understand a lot of the stuff, the metaphor and the things that we're referencing. But now it's a little bit more common knowledge. So you're going to find more information that they're not putting out everywhere. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. You said whatever a witch thinks or imagines, she can bring that into existence. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of people that are, living on this realm or in this realm, they know that. So you said psychology books are magical, learning about body language. Yep, yep, yep. Mm-hmm. Definitely. And, some people, all that stuff used to be combined back in the day and that it wasn't separate. So all the psychology, magic, alchemy, and all that kind of stuff was all one type of teaching. Hmm. You said in your culture, women marry spirits. It's crazy. We have a well, I mean that don't isn't that what they do in the Catholic Church? Marry spirits. Some religions, like Catholic, you marry a spirit. Okay. Y'all don't know it, but that's what y'all be doing. So, what everyone experiences telepathy. Yeah. Some people's powers are just more amplified based on, well, a lot of people energy are more amplified depending on certain things. So, where they were born, circumstances in which they were born, all these types of things have a lot to do with certain things as well. So you said in the church, can spirits be in objects of people give them too much energy to a symbol that it takes from them, like a thought form? Like, you mean like a statue or something? Why do you think they're in there? So, a lot of churches are simply doing the same thing as, the occult most of the time. You just disguise it, so you just don't know. But, the Catholic Church definitely works with spirits. So definitely, that's why some religions use Catholicism or Catholicism, sorry, mispronounce it, as a cover for their, magical religious practices, because, they use spirits as well. So it doesn't really matter. Y'all don't freak out because you can't see me. Okay. It's just a photo. I'm just speaking this evening. Okay. I know I'll be looking good. Y'all be waiting to see what I look like. But just look at the picture. There you go. It's not frozen, y'all. It's just a picture right there. Sprinkle, sprinkle, y'all. Okay. So you said, how do you suggest developing such a gift? Well, learning a lot and then putting those gifts to practice can definitely help you to develop them. Creating a log on how you have used your gift and how it has manifested and what you have done. That's one way. And to see if you can repeatedly use your gift and it yield results. That's another way. So you gain your confidence in your gift and you know how to use it more. And, you write down how you're using it and what methods and, if it was successful or not. And so, your best, times or the best ways to use it and the best situations to use it in. How to get rid of guilt and shame that you got since childhood about magic and women power. Okay. Don't be a human. So if you have shame about anything, it doesn't really matter because only you have that shame. Only you have that shame and that's yours personally to deal with. But if you look at it in a magical way and see it as something that allows you to tap into your energies or your magical energy, then it can definitely be of use. Okay. You said I'm not going deep enough. Well, then why don't you send me some money? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah. Y'all, some people in here complaining, but ain't got no money to send. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all know I'm. You got your own business? Well, then mind it, please. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mind your own business, not mine. You was told not to send me any because I'm empty? Well, who was telling you not to send you any? Send me any. Y'all are silly. Y'all, we got trolls in the house. Trolls. Y'all know what trolls do, right? They try to distract from what's being taught. So y'all just ignore the troll. He doesn't exist. Okay. So so people say, okay, witches do spell work. They do spell work, or they do spells, or they don't have to do witchcraft, or they don't have to do anything. You're right. They can choose what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And if you notice that a lot of women who are witches definitely have those men under control. Mm-hmm. When you ever see a witch, you always see their husband is under control. Okay, you ain't never seen no witch with a husband telling her what to do. Ever. So, when you become a certain way, you're born a certain way, or you learn how to be a certain way, you definitely, benefit in that area. Okay. Y'all know that. How many witches in the house control a man? He said, yeah, a lot of them do. Hmm. That's why witch hunt started, because men can easily be controlled by women. Hmm. And they were embarrassed that they discovered that women had so much control. Hmm. Halloween was your favorite holiday when you were little, really? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Well, when you like Halloween and you like old stuff, that's probably because you are able, like, if you're born magical and you're born, a certain way, you're able to literally time travel. And so maybe that's why you're attracted to that. You time travel to that time before, and you like, and I don't mean like time travel like physically. I mean like in other ways, magically. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. Halloween was banned in your country. I'm so sorry. It was banned in your country. you read. You're reading my books. My book. Okay. Good book to read. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I appreciate you getting that. Mm-hmm. You said I should already be past. Y'all should already be past this. Eh, that means you aren't growing. But maybe you don't want to grow. Maybe sometimes you need to enjoy the stage that you're at. It's not all about growing. I mean, it's all about learning. It's all about creating. You know, you're going to keep growing and growing, and where are you going to grow to? It's like rushing to get nowhere. It's like those people that speed to the red light. Like, what are you going to do? Stop at the same time I'm going to stop? So, enjoying your life instead of focusing on growing all the time. Perhaps that's why a lot of people are able to use their gift a lot more, because they're not focused on the growth, or just they're focused on the gifts and how to use them. And they're not in a hurry to get anywhere. Okay. So, I'm not like a lot of people aren't in a hurry to get somewhere. Hmm. Right. A lot of people not rushing around all the time. They're just doing what they want. Do I believe in dream interpretation? No, because there's too many definitions and meanings for symbols and dreams. So I think they're more personal than universal. You know what I mean? I think dreams are more personal than universal. Therefore, you can't really interpret someone else's dream because not everyone is, going to know what something means because symbols mean different things to different people. Okay? So, no, I don't. When you're young, you may learn how to interpret dreams, but that doesn't mean it's going to be, true for everyone. The best thing I can tell you is to interpret your own dreams with your own symbolism and what they mean to you. And I think that's what everybody says. Like when you try to interpret dreams, just use what you know, what the symbols mean to you personally. Okay. You said witches look young. hmm You said, yeah. Well, they have time and to take care of themselves. They don't really have to rush around to do too much because they got other people to do things for them. um. So therefore, you free up a lot of time because you have other people doing stuff for you. You know, a lot of times there's a lot of people that don't know why certain people are certain ways. And instead of trying to, listen and things like that, they try to judge you, but at the same time, it's not really helpful to them. So this is why a lot of like I'm not the type of person that's going to do anything against anyone because I don't have to, you know. But there's a lot of people out there that learn certain things and then what they learn, they try to use it against other people for bad purposes. But if it's not, and if you don't feel threatened by anyone or that your safety is in danger, you shouldn't be trying to do certain things just because you learn how to do it, because that simply means that you're living in fear and you don't want to do that. Yeah, not all witches, that's what I'm saying. It's like some people, not all people. hmm okay. Also, has anyone tried manifesting and the opposite desired outcome happen? No. No, I think if you manifest something and the opposite happens, um, you might be using the wrong words. So be careful of the words that you're using. Okay. How do we know that our manifestation is coming? When you get it, baby. Sparkle, sparkle. You get what you want. That's how you know. Like you don't sit there and wait for it. You just know that it's going to be there one day. Like I said, you're not in a rush. Magical beings, witches, they're not going to be in a rush because they can control time. They got more time because they can do what they want because they have other people doing what they want. Do you think the magical ancestors that passed years ago are still active in protecting their bloodline now? I don't, it depends. It all depends. on what you believe. You know, like I said, you don't have to believe everything all the time, only when you need to. So it's kind of like you're a writer and you have several books and different stories and all completely different. Okay. Now, if you write one book, it's going to be completely different than the other book. And the characters are going to have different beliefs, going to have different settings. So you're not going to be able to feel and think the same way while reading each book. So you don't have a certain belief. You don't have a custom. You don't have any of those things because you're very versatile. And being a witch is also, and being a magical being also allows you that freedom to have that kind of control mentally. All right. So stop trying to believe in something when it can change at any minute. Uh-huh. That's what you got to know. Like, so many of you guys are so set in your ways. Sorry about this noise. So many of y'all are so set in your ways. It's too easy to you know, get you to see something in a different way. Uh, it's too easy for you to say no instead of, well, let me learn. That doesn't mean I believe. And yeah, you can't believe everything. Now they say don't believe everything you read, but then people go right and do that. They like, okay, I'm gonna believe everything I read, but then you can't believe everything that you read. That's for more than just news and gossip. That's for everything. Mm-hmm. So believe what you want when you need to, and then believe whatever else you want. It could be totally opposite of what you believe today. It doesn't mean that you truly believe in it. It just means that it's what you need at this moment. Okay. We don't talk about twin flames because it's literally just a figure of speech. Okay. You're literally a figure of speech. Mm-hmm. So, mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all don't need to see me. Y'all see me every video. Just look at the picture. Yeah. Y'all keep asking me about the same stuff. I don't like soulmates, twin flames. What grade are y'all in? Literally, what grade are y'all in? Now, who told y'all that? And are y'all still looking for them? Did you base your whole life on looking for one? Okay. You wasted your time. Yeah, sprinkle, sprinkle. It's like literally, what grade do y'all stop asking? How old are y'all when y'all stop asking these types of questions? Y'all ever see men asking these dumb questions? What about my soulmate? What about my twin flame? They only say that when they want to use you as a woman. You only pull that type of crap out when they're trying to use you for some reason. So like if y'all gonna fall for that okey doke, then that's great. But don't ask me about them. It's a trick, y'all. It's a super trick. Don't even fall for the okey doke. Okay. Your teacher from school was a witch and said if she abuses her power against people, it will backfire. Well, did you believe that teacher? Or do you believe whatever you believe at the time you need to believe it? I don't believe every teacher. Because you don't have to. That's their personal belief, not your personal belief. Mm-hmm. So it's whatever you believe at the time, that's going to be true for you. You said you thought herbs was natural. Okay, well, good thoughts. Is there such thing as delusional? Yes, everyone is delusional at some point. Even they even teach delusion. You know, you can learn delusion. I mean, go to any religion. Go to Catholic Church. There's some delusion right there. You know, so everything can be delusional. It's just what you pick and choose to label delusional in a negative way. Mm-hmm. You see the article on Google. Now, I don't like if it's not affecting me, I don't really need to learn about it because, a lot of times if something is not affecting me, then I'd rather learn something different that I can actually benefit from. You want to pass something down to your nephew, but how do you go about making a Gilmore? What's a Gilmore? Okay, so on this channel, okay, so if y'all know, if y'all want to make a Gilmore, since that's y'all the word y'all are using, y'all want to make a Gilmore. Y'all are funny. Um, okay, so y'all want to make something else, not a Gilmore. I got you. I got you. Girl, y'all bet. Y'all are silly. So if you want to make that, I definitely feel like we have a lot of like ways to do that. And I'm sure there's lots of videos on how to do that on different channels, you know. A lot of people work with crystals, journals, Gilmores, whatever you choose to use, cards. It's your intention that you need to speak into whatever it is that you're trying to give or pass something on to. Okay. Um, so try that. Also, like if you journal, if you have a journal or a manifestation journal or whatever, write down what it is that you want and you want others to do for you and all those types of things. Da, 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 da. Put your intention into it, and that's it. You don't have to do anything, extra. That's all you got to do. Some people like to do extra, or some people, learn more and do more. And that's up to you what you got to do. What are your thoughts on auto writing? Easy. Been doing it since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Mm, a lot of people use scrying method to do automatic writing. Some people just start writing. Some people just are automatically connected. It just depends on your method of getting there. Some people look into a flame. Some people look into a crystal ball. Some people look in the mirror. Or some people, just have it automatically and they can just literally start writing. So, whichever method that you use, that's what you use. Hmm. So, you got to get a certain type of pen though. Like, you have to have a special pen that you use. I noticed that a lot of the time, if you have a special pen, it's easier. And it's if the special pen is dedicated to, this type of writing, that's what you're going to do. Or a special space. You have your own room where you do your magical practices or whatever, then that's where you should go. Mm-hmm. You say you believe the burning of witches was men suppressing women in their power? Well, they be scared when a woman has control. Hmm. Well, once you have a special pen, you've always had a special pen. Know what I'm saying? So therefore, like no matter when you got your special pen, you've always had it. That's just how that works. Okay. And I don't know if y'all know what I'm saying. I'm basically, if you like, time does not exist in certain situations. So whatever you have right now, you've had all of your life, you know. So it allows you to use the tools that you don't even have yet before you even get them. Okay. Hmm. Do you think Jesus, the man, not the legend, was a witch? Mm, the man? Well, where was he born? Not the story in the Bible. No, not that Jesus. You mean Jesus? That one? I mean, I feel like Jesus can be a witch, but not the Jesus of the Bible, because a lot of that stuff is not accurate historically. So I don't know. You said Jesus, Moses, and Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. Same thing, right? Uh, was he a witch or a wizard? Mm-hmm. Said it's not natural to be attracted to free spirits. I don't know. Is it more natural to want and need community? I don't need community. Community service? No, don't need that either. um, see, a lot of people don't know who they are without other people, and so that's why they need community. You know who you are already. You don't need other people. You you can be with other people, but you don't need them. Okay, don't need them. They said Jesus studied in Egypt, and well, Egypt did lots of magic. Okay, but who in Egypt was named Jesus? That's my question. Okay, I don't really think they care about all the details of his name, how it was spelled, if there was a J back in the time era that said he was in, and da da da. I don't think they really cared enough to make it correct. To. So if we're just sticking to the story, Then he was probably, if he was from Egypt, he probably learned alchemy. Okay. There you go. So, none of the stuff that y'all are learning is adding up. So it doesn't. Don't try to put the puzzle together because it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna fit together. Yeah. If there's so many different versions of one story, then is the story true, or is the story just metaphor? You know. But yeah, a lot of people are born that way. So if you go by the story in the Bible of Jesus, perhaps he was born that way. That's why they were trying to hide him. Or perhaps he's not even a real person and he's just a metaphor for something else. Who knows? Hmm. You didn't feel comfortable. He was turned, girl. I would like the last thing that I would ever want to do is anything spiritual with any other person, except like people that maybe your family members, but like not people that you don't really know. I don't see how people could do that, but that's just me. Is there a video on a real story? There is no real story because it's all metaphor. That's like somebody trying to find the real story of a fictional movie instead of just interpreting the metaphors of the movie. Okay. I look at all the people like as characters in the Bible, not real people. Maybe the characters were based on similar people in history, but there are not those people, and it's all metaphor. Okay. Do you consider your followers as your community? No, they are subscribers. That's why there's a subscribe button and not a community button. See? Do you think Christianity took its beliefs from witchcraft? I feel like which one ever came first? Y'all know which one came first. So, duh. You said paganism. True. You said your community tab. Oh, that's just the community section. What I would like to tell you. Yes. At the same time, if you focus on certain things too much and take it too literally, like how people take the Bible too literally and start living in dumb ways, that's what's going to happen. Okay, so we might I might put something in the community section. That doesn't mean it's a community. It just means somebody on YouTube named it the community section, and that's all it means. Now, if you want it to mean more, it can. If you're looking into a deeper way of seeing things, yes. If you're trying to strengthen your intuition and ways of seeing things, a lot of things are going to have more meaning to you or deeper meaning to you than they do to other people. And like I said, when you pick and choose what you choose to believe at the time you choose to believe it or not, that is how you control that. Okay. Right. Have I made any predictions lately? Nope. I don't need to make predictions. For what? I'm not in a rush to get anywhere. Pretty much everything I do is what I want to do. So there's no need to make predictions. You know? Hmm. How do you make this happen as well as fertility? Oh, y'all talking to each other. Um, yeah, so seeing or making predictions or doing like that, it's just something people do because they can or they want to do it for fun or whatever. But like sometimes you don't need to. It's not what's important. Mm-hmm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't believe you should. Hold on. You can't force your love onto people. Why would you want to force your love onto people? What are your views on money, frequencies, and low law of assumption? Don't have any. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Your money is your money. My money is my money. And that's all that matters. Unless you want to give me your money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. Now, I know a lot of y'all are asking coded questions. And that is one thing that I see that y'all are doing. Okay. And I know that you're not allowed to ask the questions with the words that you really mean. Just like someone says, like on the community section, you don't think that's a community. No. So when I'm reading your questions and I can tell that you're trying to use the questions in a certain way or the words of your question in a certain way, if we're speaking, you know, honestly, then I would prefer you used honest words. You know what I mean? Sprinkle, sprinkle. I know you can't be straightforward. I know you can't say what you got to say. And that's the thing about it, you know. Why not? Why shouldn't you be able to say it without saying it? We should just be able to say what you want. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because if everyone were speaking the truth instead of in code words, it would be hilarious. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just laughing. Mm-hmm. Can you give tips on how to anticipate the past and remember the future? No. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How do you do that? That doesn't even make sense. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm learning, so if my comment seem coded, it's beyond me and I don't know. Okay, so Kia, if you really don't know, what was your comment? Oh, okay, okay. No, I wasn't talking to you, Sprinkle Sprinkle, about the community section. Oh, that was not really coded. I'm talking about some of the other people that are speaking super coded words. Okay. Yeah. So I don't believe in tarot anymore. I never believed in tarot. I read tarot cards to people that believed in tarot. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Tarot card is a tool. It is not a belief system. So, like a lot of people don't. This is what I try to tell people. It's not a belief system. It is a tool. So, when you read cards, you don't believe in the cards. You read the cards. If people believe in tarot, they believe in tarot. If you read cards and you learn tarot, that's a different thing. Okay. So, yeah, it's a tool. How do you protect yourself from ill wishes of others? Um, there is no ill wishes from others because they don't exist to you if they wish you ill things. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You know, so you have to put your own type of knowing out there first and foremost. And therefore, you're very much shielded from anything that is not for your best, you know? The people go crazy when they can't see you live. Well, I'm sorry. They they can see me live on the other live videos. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. So we write our own story. Nothing is set in stone. We create our own life path. Yes. And you can change it at any time. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What kind of candle is good for candle spells? Any kind of candle that burns, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. So when you read tarot, you didn't work with spirit. Nope. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I told you some people are just born doing certain things and with certain gifts. And you don't need all that. You just read the cards. I've been like reading cards since I was in middle school. Hmm. And I wouldn't know anything about how to work with spirits in middle school unless someone taught me, and I didn't learn. So I just read cards. Therefore, that's what all it was. Hmm. Yeah. So a lot of people, they might do all those things, but I just simply read cards. If frequency changes with the music and you understand the lyrics, then how to stop diving into songs that one knows aren't good but somehow addictive. Okay. You use them for what you want to use them for at the times you need to use them. Same thing, they're a tool. You got to stop looking at stuff as good or bad. They're a tool. You know, for whatever you need to use them for, whatever you need them for at the time. Hmm. Hmm. You said it saves you money, girl. Yes. You learn how to do stuff yourself. You don't have to pay other people to do it. Now you can't learn everything. You got to pay people to do some things. But the small things that you can learn how to do for yourself, you could definitely do that. Like everybody can learn how to do tarot cards. Everybody can learn how to do spell work. Everybody can learn that. That's easy. Some people choose to pay other people to do it, and some people learn how to do it themselves. Would you ever do a call-in show again? No. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Sorry. Mm, that's why. Mm-hmm. Is frequency. Okay, I already read that one. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you say you do your own nails. Good for you. You miss your spell videos. You did. Did you still do them for yourself? I don't really have to anymore. Sometimes if you want to just for fun or for nostalgia or just for crafting or whatever, you can. But like once you do certain spells, they're already just going to keep working, you know. Um mhm. If you feel like you need to do more just to make yourself feel like, you want, or if you're doing spells for different reasons, because it could be for a whole different reason. You might have done a spell for this reason, but you might need to do a similar spell for a whole nother reason. That could work, but like it just depends on what you're doing the spells for. Hmm. Honestly, if you're still doing spells and stuff and not seeing results, then focus on something else. If you keep looking for something. It's not how that works. You know, like it's kind of like when you go to church and pray or whatever, you keep looking for signs that your prayer is working. Y'all don't do that. Y'all just wait. So why would it be like if you're doing spell work and you keep obsessing over the results? That's not the way to do spell work. You just do the spell work, and whenever it happens, it happens. No rush. Like I said, you're not in a rush. If you're doing magic and doing certain things because you're in a rush, it's only because you're practicing and doing magic not for yourself, but for your mistakes and situations that you or choices that you put yourself in. So, therefore, if you just continuously do manifesting or spells to maintain and keep everything as you would like it to be, you don't have to rush, do things, and obsess over results. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people like try to learn magic to quickly change things and get results fast. But if you know that you're not in a rush for anything, your spells and manifestations that you have already done should cover a lot of the things that may, occur already. It should be under all of those things to help that situation or whatever situation occurs. You should have blanketing spells, blanketing manifestations over a lot of things that could occur versus having to do a spell for every little single thing that happens that you weren't prepared or expecting. Hmm. Okay. So you need to sit down, use words that have no limits when you do certain spells so that they are continuous. Over, you know, you want to do a money spell, then do a long continuous spell with certain types of words. Choose your words carefully. Hmm. If you have to do spells as much as you get paychecks, then you're doing something or you're using the wrong words, you know? Do you think money is an energy and an idea rather than a physical currency? No. Um, Money can be more than one thing, just like you can believe in more than one thing and not believe in anything at the same time. So, money is almost like a paradox. So, it could be an energy, it can be an idea, it can be a frequency, it can be literal physical money. It could be so many things. It could be credit, it could be, digital. So, therefore, don't use the word money. Use another word. I prefer financial, constant financial increase over, you know, this long period of time. So therefore your money is always increasing because the words that you're using, if you say I want to do a money spell and you find $1, there go your money spell just worked for you. You got $1. Okay. If you do a money spell and you say I want my, you know, I want a lot of money. Okay. So maybe you get a lot of money. $500, right? $300, whatever. That could be a lot to you. But let's say you get a large amount of money, but then you get a bill for even more, and then you have to use that money for the bill. So your finances aren't steadily increasing. So you need to use the correct words to balance out your ebb and flow. So therefore, you do a spell or you manifest using the words constant financial increase that continuously builds up to wealth. Da, 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 you know what I'm saying? And then you never you're always going to have more than enough to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it, how you want to do it, as well as help those that you love if they should need it. Do it all in one whole thing. Stop doing weekly spells or daily spells or monthly spells. Do an entire life financial spell. Or steadily, if you don't like those words, use a steady stream of financial increase into my, bank account or whatever it is that you're trying to do, you know? So whatever it is that you're trying to create, use the words correctly. Otherwise, you're going to be doing money spells every week. So do a whole life spell you can do it for your future generations so that they can have money. Don't stop there. Why stop there? So this is the difference between people that have that generational wealth, that old money, versus people that can't keep no money. All right. So do those spells forever. Forever. Y'all be thinking too, y'all, a lot of times who you're learning from is whoever you're learning from, or if you're teaching yourself, or if you're reading certain spell work, y'all got to remember, y'all think these very wealthy people did those same spells to get money? Or what did they do? They did lifelong generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? So try that. You said generation spells only work if you've been tapped in. No, they don't. They work when if you say they work. Period. You say your parents believe in slave narrative. Well, like I said, you don't have to believe in anything. And that's the best way I can tell you. Never believe in anything. Believe in what you choose to believe in, and then don't believe in it if you don't need to believe in it at that time. So, for example, if you need to believe um, something in order to do a spell, okay, do the spell, believe in it while you're doing the spell, and then when the spell is complete, when it's done, then stop. And then do something different. Use belief as a tool. Exactly. That's all everything is, a choice and a tool. And to stay somewhere longer than necessary is also a choice. You said makeup is literally glamour magic. Hmm. Hmm. But like I said, there are people that teach and learn, and they pass down the teachings and the learnings to different people, and they push it in their mind as truth, as fact, when nothing is truth or fact. That's why you should never truly 100% believe anything forever, or you should never 100% believe anything if you can't unbelieve it. Okay? Just like quantum physics. You know, you can't believe, if you can't escape something, don't go into it. If you can't create something, don't even start. Don't even try. Don't destroy it. Hmm. You say you stop believing in karma and your life has been way better. It should be, because this is, you know how everyone says that's a social construct. That's a social construct. Okay, then don't believe in a social construct. Believe whatever you want so that you can use those beliefs as tools when necessary. So, for example, people will call you a hypocrite for doing that, but okay, and nice word. I'm still going to do what I got to do. You can't use a word against someone who doesn't believe in certain things. You said karma is for men to worry about? Oh, I don't know. I feel like if people were just honest and told each other why they needed each other, it might be a little bit different. But since people don't like to do that, then, a lot of times things get miscommunicated. Like some people want to know, like, why do you need me? Why? Okay. You said chaos magic, nothing is true, but everything is permitted that you choose, that of the choosing. Mm-hmm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's why you always have to make sure, like you say, chaos magic. Yeah, who wants order? Order can be predicted and controlled. Chaos is do what you want, right? And chaos necessarily does not mean that it's not in a specific order that you choose it to be. You may like a certain way. Like some people have messy rooms and messy desks, but they know where everything is. So it's not really chaotic to them. But then you have people that are neat freaks and they can't function in that kind of space, but some people can. So therefore, sometimes chaos magic is orderly to some people and sometimes it's not. You said you like order? That's boring though. Well, I like order in certain areas, but not every area. Hmm. You say you believe in order when kids are involved. Well, when kids are involved, usually they know enough or they know better or they don't know at all. So it really won't really matter. Nothing will really matter if you're unaware of some certain things, you know. So unless the order is affecting the children, then it really doesn't matter. Like a lot of times order does not affect anything because people can work in chaos. They can function well in chaos and they can thrive because their mind is way above that. Their mind is not limited to order. Okay. Yeah. And I don't feel like anything that you personally do as far as magic is concerned has anything to do with your kids. You know, that's your own personal experience. So your kids are very much not involved in any of your personal experiences or personal ways to do magic, you know? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Mhm. So, like, you know, people that always try to, you know, say, what about the kids? What the kids are their own person. I remember when I was a kid, I was already doing my own everything. You know what I'm saying? So that had nothing to do with my parents and their spiritual paths or beliefs. I did whatever I wanted, you know? So a lot of people are sadly believe, you know, certain things because that's what they believe. Stop believing it and then it would not be true. Hmm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yay, yay, yay. The truth is winning. The truth is winning. The truth, which truth are you speaking of? Because there are several. Hmm. As a kid, your mom couldn't project onto me to things I felt were just untrue. Exactly. Like it's only if you believe, you know. Kids have their own mind now. They don't have to believe what the parents believe. They can do whatever they want. They can believe in themselves. They can believe whatever they want. They don't have to believe anything at all. It's literally up to them. Don't try to force things on people because I wouldn't want them forcing their beliefs on me because I don't believe things 100% of the time and I always change it. Hmm. Your daughter trolls you. She doesn't listen, but I need order and discipline regardless. Okay, well, then that's because you're a man and you like to control stuff because you don't have control naturally. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, therefore, we know. I don't know. Are you a man? You look like a man on the picture. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. It's like a weird picture. Sorry if you're not a man. Anyway, don't be laughing. I can't see. The thumbnails are like this small, like small, super small. Did I manifest my success on here? No. Well, sometimes you can speak things into existence. And so perhaps I did, but not, you know, if I didn't give specific ways for the success to occur, then it occurs, you know, how it occurs. Um, I feel like I definitely knew ahead of time that somehow, some way I would be successful. And I wasn't trying to rush anything. And I did not mind that there was a lot of issues that may impede the success on this channel, because I already knew that once you speak something, it's definitely going to, especially if you want it to happen, then that's what it's going to do. So I really don't feel like not saying what you want to happen. Just be specific if you choose to be specific, or if you don't really need to be specific. Just make sure that nothing negative happens that you don't want to happen during, whatever it is that you're manifesting. So that's what I did. So basically what I did is I said, this is what I'm going to have in this amount of time, but it was not super specific. Okay. I just spoke and knew. Yeah. No harm, and spoke and just knew. Y'all, okay, so I'm not sure what, I don't know if you're a man or a woman. That's why I said, because I can't see the thumbnail. I don't know if that's like your front face, the side of your face, if you have on glasses, because the thumbnail is so small. But when I zoom and look, I could see that those are glasses. I thought it was like a cartoon or something. So forgive for not seeing. The thumbnails are extremely small. The reason why that I thought that you were a man is because you're giving off masculine energy, because of the comments that you were making. Like if I didn't see, if you didn't have a picture, I would just guess that you were a man. No, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying that's the energy that you're giving off. Okay. Very masculine. Well, I don't think it's you should be offended if that's what you're going for. I mean, to get on someone else's comment section and start talking this is that, perhaps you need to get your own YouTube channel and make videos and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to preach in other people's comments, just go get your own YouTube channel and start going live over there. Yeah. You said you have to be this way? Oh, you don't have a choice? Okay. I didn't know there was people with no choice. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, so I learn something new every day. Some people ain't got no choice. Good thing I have a choice. I was about to fall asleep. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Garrett, is it early or late? I don't even know. Oh, are you a paid troll? Because I know some paid trolls, they get paid to troll people's channels. I don't know. Whatever your job is, I hope you're getting paid. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. You say, oh, okay, trolling is not a feminine gig. You could make it feminine if you want, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I do all the time. Oh, you have to be masculine for your family. Mulan energy. Okay. So like a drag queen, but a drag king instead. Yes. Um oh, How can you get any advice for your specific situation? Ask yourself. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Or use tools of divination. Some people use scrying, cards, pendulums, whatever. Or ask yourself. Okay. Well, let me just tell y'all something. It's kind of rude to go in other people's comment section and say all these weird things. If you need to tell people stuff, just go make a video like everybody else. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. You said it's getting weird now. Mm-hmm. So you utilize your trauma for good. Okay. Does somebody give you a reward or pay you for that? You get a little badge. You get a medal. Like, I use it for good, bad, and whatever else I want to use it for. That's what it's for. Okay. It's just like I only use drugs for good. Some people use drugs for good, bad, in between. All right. Yeah, we know. When you don't get enough attention and you had a traumatic life, you got to try to get it somewhere. So we know. Everybody got an excuse and a story. Join the club. Okay, you ain't special. Everybody got issues. Everybody. Everything is still a choice, no matter what you say. Okay. So at some point you got to stop being the victim. Well, as long as if you're going to continue to take the victim stance in your own life, then that's the life you're going to continue to live. And that's what a lot of people know. Like, you could be born a witch, you could be born magical, you can know things, you can study things, but as long as you keep taking the victim stance, that's what you're going to remain. So don't claim your victimhood. Don't say you got to be a way. Just say I am this way for now because that's the way I choose to be. You don't have to be. You just choose to be. That way. And that's good. You said victims get pity? Not from me. I don't care. Y'all know that. victims get sympathy from people who sympathize. Y'all know I don't care. I'll pretend to care. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you, but I will feel nothing. And you know why? Because I don't, like, literally, that's your problem. It ain't mine. Don't make it mine. It ain't my problem. So this is what I learned. When you try to take on other people's problems, you keep adding to your own problems. So stop taking on other people's problems. You can lie and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you," but that doesn't mean you have to take on their problems and concerns. Like, I don't care. If I take on someone's problems, they're more of they're more interesting. And it's not the problem that I want to solve. It's the information that you get. So y'all need to, you know, Like y'all go to those psychiatrists and therapists and stuff like that. They're not trying to solve your problem. They're trying to get some information. They don't want to solve your problem. They just want the info. If they should happen to solve the problem while getting the info, then great. But a lot of times they just want the information and they want to, try to get that insurance. That's why I be laughing when y'all say, "Oh, you're going to therapy?" Okay. I hope it's free. If not, hope you got insurance. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. So yeah, people that are born magical and they make their world how they want it. They live with their own way of doing things. They don't need certain things. They choose certain things. It's a way to make their own reality without choosing to be a victim. So therefore, if you are truly magical and truly a witch and stuff like that, none of that stuff will bother you, or you'll make it work for you. You know what I'm saying? And you won't have to really use it as an excuse. So that's what I'm saying. You said no one has privacy. Okay, yeah, no one had privacy since satellites and smartphones. So, and y'all acting like that's new. That ain't new. What y'all got to hide? I always say, if you don't have privacy, who cares? You've never had privacy. It was just an illusion. And when y'all realize that privacy is an illusion, then you can stop worrying about it. Like, you know what? Whatever. Shoot. Most of the people that are on, or most of the people that are, successful and famous, they walk around mostly naked anyway. Barely any clothes on. That's what y'all see. So where is the privacy? Okay. You say, how do you take control of a situation that you didn't want to let go of someone who's still attached to you, but no, it won't work out? Um, you should have known that from the beginning that it's never going to work out. Only because if you got that attached to someone, that should tell you something. Okay. So you don't really get attached to people. You might get it attached to an idea of a person, but not the actual person, So you're attached to an idea of what the person was or could have been. It's not the actual person that you're attached to. All right. Unless you're a twin and you got, sucked up into the other twin. That's the only thing I can think of. But it's literally an idea. It's not a person. Ideas are stronger than people because they last longer. Oh, I'll be right back, y'all. I have to go get some water. Sorry, y'all. I'm back. All right, got my water. So anyway, yeah. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, you can get so many people get attached to the idea of whatever. When I used to do tarot readings, people was so attached to the idea that they wanted the cards to tell them a certain thing. And when the cards do not say a certain thing, they wanted another reading and another reading, or a different type of reading, or a different deck, or a different this, or a different that. Well, you know what? It's, it's the idea that they were attached to, not the situation or the person. Okay. And the good thing about ideas is that they can be transferred and created elsewhere with other people or other situations. You know, it's not something that you can't ever experience. It's just an idea. Okay. What's the first step to block them and not stop believing that the person? Just feel it's an idea, not a person. Okay. How do you block an idea? How do you block a thought? Think of something else. That's just it. Because if they're literally knocking on your door, if they're literally physically in your life, you know, trying to talk to you, then that's a person. But if it's all in, if it's like, okay, well, that's just an idea. Change your idea, change your mind. Okay? Change your thinking. And the way to change your thinking is to do something else, more creative, or create something. Okay? What if the thoughts are intrusive? Well, then that's a good thing, because you can use that to intrude your thoughts to wherever you want them to go. So you're literally learning how to intrude on other people's thoughts, because now you have that, ability to do that. So intrude on other people's thoughts, but make it good, make it good. You have a different method of doing it. Like, you can make it funny, you can make it knowledgeable, whatever. Just now you can do the same thing. How do you recognize your own thoughts? They sound just like you. There's something that exactly what you would say. You know them because you created them. You can't intrude on others' thoughts and use to manifest, but used to have fun. Okay, that's what I do. And sometimes you can get them to do what you want. Like if I think of something and I say, this is what I want, and then I get it from that person that I want it from. So use it for good, or use it for fun, or use it for whatever reason you need to use it for. I wouldn't use it for bad thoughts, only because you don't get anything out of it. You're not getting nothing out of it. Like, why would you waste your energy and time if you're not getting anything out of it? Okay. Get gifts, money, girl, get it all. Whatever you want, trips. That's how I do. So someone asked how to stop people from intruding into your thoughts. If people are able to intrude into your thoughts, now you know that you can do the same thing. So try it. Okay, you're in a world where thoughts can be, people can intrude upon your thoughts. That means you can do the same thing. So go do it. But use it for your advantage. You said creative way to destroy unwanted thoughts. The creative way is to make people think what you want them to think when those intruding thoughts start occurring. So therefore, if you're getting an intruding thought, automatically stop and start intruding your thoughts upon someone else to get something that you want. It doesn't have to be bad. It can be something like, bring me this, or buy me this, or suggest this to me, or offer this to me. So do that. Or, put the idea there that you want them to do something. And that's it. You said, is that the whisper method? I don't know what they call it. I just, do whatever I do. Just say it or think it. So that's what you do when you start getting an intruding thought. Stop it and create another intruding thought to get something you want out of it. It's called transmutation. You transmute that thought coming into your head into a thought going into someone else's head to give you something materially. Okay? Or whatever you want. It doesn't have to be material. But use it as an opportunity to allow you to create and get something from it. Okay? And see, a lot of people are, they say, mentally slam the door. And that's, if that works for you, that works for you. But I like getting more out of everything. You know what I'm saying? I like transmuting negatives into positives, or profit and wealth. Because if you can do that, you're not bothered. You're rewarded. You're given more. You're adding wealth instead of just shutting a door on some type of energy. Okay? So use that as an opportunity to get something you want. You said you turning lead into gold. Because if you do that, you're always going to get what you want. And it no longer has power, because the more someone tries to send, or the more you create intruding thoughts, or the more someone gives you intruding thoughts, the more you can create from it and get out of it. And so everything that they do against you, or you do against yourself, or whoever's giving intruding thoughts, is only working on your behalf to bring you more. Okay? More of what you want. So you say you got to flex your personal powers. Yeah, there's different methods. Everyone has their own methods. I use my methods to get what I want. Because everyone has a different personality. Some people just block it. Some people try to, filter. And some people just get what they want. And everybody different. Okay. You say you don't like dragging people to hell? Then don't do it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. Those people shouldn't be around or in your life if they don't want to go where you going. Because you can't drag nobody somewhere you not going. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. If you believe in hell, you're going to drag somebody to where you believe. You don't believe in none of that stuff, you ain't dragging nobody nowhere, because ain't nobody going with you to a place that doesn't exist. All right. Yeah, you got to stop. If you're a magical being, if you were born a magical being and born a witch, you don't have to believe in any of that stuff. It's a choice. So stop believing in it, and you won't have any type of, issues. Okay. I've manifested everything. I manifested whatever I wanted when I wanted it. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what it is. It just matters if you're able to do it or not. So you said famine does exist. Well, then go feed people. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't talk about it if you ain't gonna do nothing about it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You know what I'm saying? Does it exist to you? Does it exist to your family? If not, then why are you so worried about it? Okay. Y'all are worried about people that you don't even know. Is it your responsibility to end famine? You put that upon your shoulders, then that's the task that you're going to have to take. Okay. Stop doing that to yourself. Look, just stop doing everything and go do what you want. That's what you need to know. You don't know because you're just getting here. Okay. Yeah, so we were just saying some people are born magical, some people are born a witch, some people don't believe what they learn, they just simply learn it to use it as tools. Some people literally believe everything that they learn and they get trapped and stuck. Okay. So that's the paradox. The paradox is you learn it, you use it, but you don't believe in it. Okay. If you get stuck, it's because you believed. You can't believe. Just have fun. It's a game. Like, that's why when they sell you tarot cards, they say this is a game. That's why when they sell you any type of whatever, they tell you this is for entertainment purposes only. Why? Because you're not supposed to believe in it forever or permanently. It is a tool. And some of y'all some of y'all just believed, and that's why y'all get stuck. So stop believing. It's a tool. It's like social media. Some of y'all live life depending on your approval or how many likes you get. If you're not getting, if that's not how you get your money or how you get paid, then it shouldn't even matter. Don't believe it, because there's lots of bots and fakes, stuff on social media anyway. The algorithm and all that stuff will make you feel a certain way. But if you don't believe it and you don't care, then it doesn't matter. Okay. He said everything outside of you is a tool. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like, there are some people that love to be the victim. That's good. You're going to attract a narcissist. All right. Rules bend to your own self-belief. It's all relative. Mm-hmm. What are some things you can say to someone who wants to practice the arts but is afraid? What are you afraid of? You have to ask yourself all those questions until you find out what it is that you're afraid of, and then that's what you go learn about, and your fear will be alleviated. But you never believe in anything. You just learn to use your knowledge as a tool. Okay? That's it. You said, what's the difference between magical and born a witch? Magical is how you think and your abilities and your gifts. Witch is having certain knowledge already automatically, and you're just able to do certain things, but you're also magical. Okay. You said just like the Addams Family. I don't know. Is love real or magic? What, like, if you're going to define the word love, you have to be specific on what it means to you, and then what you believe love really is, and then ask yourself, is love real to you? Or what do you define love as? There's different types of love that people describe. You say love is a magical tool. It just, yeah, it can be used as a tool as well. What's something interesting you've learned about voodoo or root work? Um, I've read lots of books. I never really believed in it. I just read and see what other people do. And I see how they make other people believe and how they, do this, and that. And I learned that it's literally more psychological than anything. And I also know that if you get someone to believe in something, they're going to experience more than someone who doesn't believe in something. And if you temporarily believe in something in order to get the experience and then you don't believe in something, then you'll know. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like doing an experiment, except you're gathering the information and you're not really 100% affected as some people that truly believe. Okay. So, do you think when men have sex with us, they are trying to use sex magic? It doesn't matter because if they are trying to use sex magic and you've already done a whole spell to, block anything that is not in your best interest, because if the sex spell, if they're doing that and it's not in your best interest, it's not going to materialize. It's not going to happen. So that's why, if you were here earlier, it's like if you do magic and you do a spell, you need to do it over your entire life existence, and your family and those who you love, to block and protect yourself against whatever, so that it never manifests. So anything that they try to get off, anything they try to do, it won't happen. Okay. I mean, I think there's a song about it. I can't remember who sang it, but it's a whole song about it. They will not get nothing off. So, if you block ahead of time before anything ever occurs, you ain't got to worry about it. Now, if it's for their own benefit and it's not, you know, harmful to you or whatever, great. They can do what they want with whatever they want. That doesn't mean that you're not getting more in return from whatever they're doing. They're just going to multiply what you're getting, in in a good way. So, for example, if someone is trying to use you to manifest and use sex magic through you, you're going to get whatever they're manifesting, if it's good or whatever. If it's money or something, you're going to get even more because you're the woman. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. If that's what you believe at the moment. Uh huh. Why do counteractive thoughts sometimes get in the way of spells? Um, because you believe in them. It's a tool. Stop looking at things as beliefs and start to look at them as tools. Okay, let me tell y'all something. Y'all know how there's artificial intelligence, robots, series, and all that kind of stuff. Do you think that they believe in anything? Do you think that artificial intelligence believes in anything? It does not believe in anything. And you know why it doesn't believe in anything? Because it wasn't programmed to believe in anything. It's not programmed. So if you're not programming yourself to believe in things that you learn, you don't fall victim to your own beliefs or to others' beliefs unless you choose to. That's the beauty about being human, is that you have free will and choice to do whatever you want. Okay? So humanity or humans can believe what they want, but sometimes people get stuck in their beliefs. When instead of being stuck in your beliefs, believe it momentarily and then don't believe it the next moment. Then you're not stuck. So for example, like people can, I can reference religion. I can say, well, Jesus said this and Jesus said that to prove a point and to make you believe something. And then the next minute I'll tell you Jesus not real and that he's a metaphor. Okay? Because it depends on what question that you're asking is the answer that you're going to get and the belief that you're going to believe in. So therefore, no one needs to believe in anything unless they want to, and then they can believe in something else the next day or the next moment. That way you don't get stuck. Okay. All right. You said I teach shifting. Yeah, you got to shift. Shape shift, baby. It's the same thing as belief shifting. Stop believing in something that is not believable forever. Okay. You can't believe in something forever. It's eventually going to change. Think about this. 200 years ago, what did people believe in? None of those beliefs are true today. Nobody believes in a lot of those things that people believed in 200 years ago or 300 years ago. Why? Because they don't have to. So why not shorten the amount of time of what you believe in something in order to shift out of it or shift out of the mindset or shift out of the frequency? It's like quantum physics, quantum tunneling. Stop believing in it or believe in it. It's your choice. It doesn't make sense to people who don't. Um, well, you see, when you learn a lot, you don't base your knowledge on beliefs. You base your knowledge on what you learn and your ability to use your knowledge as tools and whatever people believe as a tool. I mean, hypnotists do it all the time. Um, so I don't know. Like, if you don't know, then keep learning. If it's easier for you to believe in something and maintain order and follow instructions and rules because you don't have the capacity or the time or the energy to learn more and use beliefs as tools, then maybe that's something that you need to work on. Okay. You started practicing your knowledge recently. Your life has only changed for the better. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm hypnosis proof, too godlike for that. Okay, well, whatever you believe when you need to believe it, that's what I'm saying. It's not hypnosis. It's like hypnosis when you choose to believe in something too long. Okay. It becomes hypnotic if you believe in it too long. Then you start doing whatever they tell you to do, or you start following the religion with no questions asked. And then you just start repeating things and falling into a pattern because you're hypnotized. So therefore, the longer you believe in something, the more like hypnosis that it becomes. Okay. You said what about Elon Musk? Elon Musk is a trust fund baby whose family wealth came from African resources, aka emerald mines. Okay, that's all code. Well, if you want to take it as code. So with Elon Musk, y'all are talking about him? Y'all better start decoding then. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Anyway. Do you have a belief system? No, don't have one. Mm-hmm. So you don't have a belief system, then you don't have any need to believe in anything. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If you have a belief system, it's a choice until you choose not to have one. Mm-hmm. Is there such thing as a spiritual headache? If you believe that there's one. I think people get headaches for other reasons as well, but we could transmute the pain by not believing that it's true. Okay. I don't have a defined spiritual practice. I don't have a defined spiritual belief. I don't have any of those things. I just learn and use knowledge and other people's beliefs as tools. I may temporarily believe in something when I need to. So, therefore, you might call it multidimensional, or you could call it whatever you like, but there's no belief system. There's only tools that I use when I need to use them. Mm-hmm. That sounds so fun, just playing in the universe. Well, the reason why you could do whatever you want is because you create all the rules. And if you don't choose to create any rules, then you don't have any rules until you create them. Mm-hmm. It's like being an entrepreneur, doing whatever you want and no one telling you what to do. All right. You said you had a demonic attack in your sleep. Turn right back to your girl. That's because you believe in demons. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You don't believe in demons, they can't be real. Do you see the news about he is back? I don't know. I don't believe the news. Nah, if you know I don't believe certain things, why would you ask me if I believe the news? That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, girl, you believe in demons, that's what you're gonna experience. Don't believe in them. Believe. If you believe in demons or whatever, then to help your belief, temporarily, if you're going to temporarily believe in demons, then you need to learn how to block them, okay? If you're going to temporarily believe in them, you need to learn how to block them temporarily, okay? Because I know it's not enough to say, oh, just don't believe in them. Well, if you choose to believe in them temporarily, you need to choose to know how to block them temporarily. Okay, so that's what the knowledge tools, are for. So it's like you're in a video game and you're playing a different video game, right? And you have certain weapons or tools to combat against certain, other things. When you turn off the game and you're not playing that game anymore, you don't really need to implement those skills, beliefs, and tools in your real life. So only when you're playing that game do you need to implement them. So if you're playing that game and you choose to believe in demons and run right back to Jesus, whatever religious game that you're playing, then know how to combat demons in your religious game. Okay. All right. What book am I currently reading? I don't know. Let me see. I read several books at the same time. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. What your mind obsess over, that's what is going to draw or magnify and attract on it. Well, you better start obsessing over some money, baby. Y'all be mad when I on my other channel talking about money, obsessing over money, but then over here, I say you gotta be obsessed for what you are trying to attract. Which one is it? Okay. So get your you said the only demons you see is the ones on Scooby-Doo. If you're stuck in the snow, you'd eventually get out with a shovel, but a snowplow would be quicker, less work. So what tools are the snowplow versus the shovel? Okay. For what? Like tools, snowplow versus the shovel? I would say snowplow. It's just a big shovel. You know what I'm saying? A more advanced shovel. So, whatever the shovel is, amplify it, and that will be the snowplow. There you go. How do you tap more into your spiritual gifts? I believe that you're sometimes born with spiritual gifts and sometimes you acquire them, depending on whatever you're believing at the time. So you don't really tap more into them. You use them and they will definitely allow you to use them. So just use them. Use your spiritual gifts. Okay. Just like anything, like if you have a talent to draw art or paint or sing, you got to use them. Do we attract what we think or obsess over? If that's what you believe. Like I said, beliefs are a tool, however you use them. So yes or no, depending on what you believe, at the time. So you know why you use this way of thinking? Because if you truly immerse yourself into a belief system and those things that are against whatever you believe in or that you're doing, if someone else comes along and says, well, I'm going to do this to you, and you're so deep into that belief that you believe it, and so if you're not deep into any belief system, anyone that tries to, direct some type of negativity towards you based on your belief system does not have any type of power. They don't have any effect on you because you don't believe it, because you don't even believe what you temporarily believe in. So it has no power. Okay? That's literally it. Mhm. Yeah. So here's an example. Let's say you're studying witchcraft or spells, and someone comes and says, "Oh, I'm going to put a spell on you." It's like, okay, do what you want because I don't believe in this stuff anyway. You're just going to be wasting your material. And then the next day you say, I believe in this because, it's working for me, right? And then the next day someone says, I'm going to put a spell on you. And then you say, you know what? Good. I don't believe in that stuff anyway. It takes their power away. It takes their motivation away. It takes your belief away that it is even real and that it works. So therefore, if you can temporarily not believe in something, you are able to not be affected by it with other people thinking that you believe in it. So, if you can use fear as a tool just like belief, exactly. But if you don't fear anything, you don't believe in anything, then guess what? You can't really use it against you. That's why, yeah, transmute it into something positive or something you actually want. And a lot of times people will reveal themselves to you based on what they think you believe. They will show themselves as people that don't, that aren't for you. So if you want people to come out of the woodwork and show you who they really are, pretend you believe something and see what they do. I'm like, okay, I see who don't like me. I see who's bothered. So, that's all you gotta do. You said the skeleton key? Oh yeah. Yeah, that movie's funny. She fell for the okie doke. Okay. So what makes anything real is your belief. Wow, that simple concept that I'm just now. Well, if that's what you believe. Say, if you can't believe something 100% enough for you not to believe in it in one moment from now. Why do you think that so many people are against hypocrites? That's hypocrisy. That's a hypocrite. You say one thing and do another. Okay, so and I do what I want. I don't follow y'all rules. I believe this when I need to, and I don't when I don't. So therefore, no one can really have control over what it is that you believe or how you think. Okay. Unless you temporarily, believe in something just to get the knowledge and the information. That's it. What belief system do you think fall under the shovel category and the tool or the snowplow? Okay. Um I'm not sure what belief it falls under because why would you need a shovel or a snowplow in the first place when you can just simply melt the snow or not believe that the snow is there? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you don't even need the tool, you just need the thought. But if you were asking like what the tool would be, I'm not sure what you're asking what the tool would be. Religion. Okay, a shovel would be, mm, I would say, mm, well, religion is given to you and forced upon you as a child, and you don't have any questions, and you just have to go with whatever your parents told you. So that's probably the weakest because you didn't have a choice. All right. So I think the snowplow would definitely be none of these at all. It would definitely be maybe all of them put together, using them as tools, or the snowplow itself. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah. So use all of them put together, baby. The toolbox. All of them put together, but not to be believed in. Yeah, it's a more advanced religion is a more advanced, like the shovel would be religion and everything else would be more advanced. So therefore the toolbox will be more advanced as it has the tools versus just one tool. Mm-hmm. You said water is weak. Well, if that's what you believe, a lot of people think other things. If it's weak to you, it's weak to you. If it's strong to other people, it's strong to other people. Mm-hmm. And somebody said, "What?" No, like it's whatever you believe it is. So if someone needs to think that it's weak in order for their mind to think a certain way, then that's what they need to think. So therefore, let them have that thought. Don't argue with them. Okay? Because that's their own personal need at the moment. Okay. A lot of times people need that. Sometimes, there's a time to argue. I wouldn't even say argue, to debate. And there's a time not to, because you can obviously see someone's having an issue. All right. So being able to change your beliefs and transmute it into your needs, that is the real power. No. Being able to change your beliefs at any time means you don't believe in them. It means you're using that knowledge of belief as a tool. Because if other people believe in something and they feel you believe in the same thing or something similar, then they're going to try to use certain things or knowledge or whatever based on that belief in order to do something good, bad, or whatever, or say something good, bad, or whatever. But if you don't believe in them, then you just gather knowledge of the people that are not wanting the best things for you. You know what I mean? Or you don't get stuck in the belief system and you can move on to other things at any given time without being stuck there mentally. Okay. There you go. How you decide what to believe? Most of the knowledge we think we know today is because brainwash. You don't believe anything. That's how you decide. Just learn the knowledge. Don't believe anything. Just get the knowledge. And when you need to pretend to believe in something, that's what you do. Mm-hmm. Don't believe me, just watch. Because if you don't believe nothing, then nothing has power or control over you. Does the wind believe in anything? Does the sun believe in anything? You know? Does air believe in anything? Does water believe in anything? Does water remain water? You know, so a lot of y'all are doing witchcraft and working with the elements and things like that. Y'all believe in the elements, but what do the elements believe in? If they're so powerful and you're working with them and you're using the elements to create, a spell or, whatever, what do the elements believe in? So you don't have to believe in anything to be what you want to be. You just do what you want. You said ignorance is bliss. Yeah, if it's done on purpose. Yeah, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I don't believe in that. But yesterday you said this. Okay, that was yesterday. Today is a whole nother day. Okay. You said they believe in you. The elements believe in you. Mm-hmm. How you feel about making it to? I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Hmm. You said trick your own mind. Why not? Everybody else trying to trick your mind. Why can't you trick your own mind to work in your favor? You know how they say you have to be more clever. Well, if somebody's already trying to trick your mind, why don't you just trick your own mind? Because you know yourself better than anybody. Trick your mind into what needs to be, the best for you. Hmm. People spend so many times trying to observe or study someone or learn about somebody, but they haven't learned the best part about them. At any given moment, all that can change based on what they choose to believe or not to believe. When you walk past trees, the wind shakes the leaves, and I feel like a goddess because I'm Mount Energy. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, you said the shade room is hood gossip. Then that's why I don't know what it is, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Because I don't believe in that. All right. It's a paradox, exactly. thing about you is you are stubborn. Once you believe something, you're stuck in your mind. So reversing bad thoughts has been a challenge. Then don't think like that. Replace it with something that you actually want every time it occurs. Just think of it as an alarm clock for time to manifest something you actually want. You know, when you're asleep and your alarm clock goes off and it's the worst sound ever, and you mad because it's going off, and you're mad. Okay, that means it's time to get up, start the day. Accomplish something good. Da, 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 da. So whenever you have one of those types of thoughts, think of it as just a stupid alarm clock that's telling you to manifest something good instead. That's it. Use it as an opportunity to manifest more of what you want. That way you're constantly getting more that you want. And soon you won't be even thinking about those negative things, because you're going to be enjoying everything that you've manifested, and you get to live the life that you want. Mm-hmm. You can use whatever you want, any tool, any belief system, and then you can change it the next day and use something totally different, as long as you know that they are tools. Okay. All right, I gotta go, y'all. But never believe. Always use your beliefs as tools. Okay. It does. Okay. I think a lot of people don't realize that it doesn't mean that you don't believe in anything. It means that you don't believe in anything all the time. Okay. Okay. You said your hexes always work and your money. That's what you got to believe in if you want them to work. And then, whoever your hexes are against or whatever, they got to believe in the opposite for it not to work. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. So, for example, like if someone says, "Oh, I'm gonna put a hex on you," well, then you got to change your belief in the word hex and make hex mean something good. Oh, that's just, hex means they're just sending me some, yeah, they're just sending me something that I really want. So you can even change the meaning of words. So therefore, that's what you got to do. Because there's good hexes too that bring you what you want. Sprinkle, sprinkle. When you're looking for a paint color, they call it a hex number. I'm like, what? Why y'all calling it a hex number? But at the same time, okay. Hex can be something good. Could be a color of paint. Or it could be some type of magic working done on someone. Or it could just mean, it could be short for hexagon. It's whatever you choose it to mean. So I'm going to let y'all go. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.